Unacademy. Let's crack it.
Hello everyone, welcome to Pathfinder. As you all know that the results for UPSC Civil Services Examination 2021 have been declared, and today we have with us AIR 51 of this year's toppers list, Mr. Akshay Pillay. He's from Chhattisgarh, and we are going to speak with him today, and hopefully he can guide the future generation of aspirants towards UPSC glory. Welcome Akshay to Pathfinder and Unacademy.
Hello, sir. Thank you for having me on.
So, Akshay, please tell us something about yourself, a little bit about your family background. Where do you belong? I know you're from Chhattisgarh, but where did you study your graduation?
Sir, I belong to Rathore and I did my entire schooling at the Rajkumar College, Rathore, and then I did a BTech in Mechanical Engineering from NIT Rathore. And sir, the family background, both my parents are civil servants. So that inspired me also to try for the civil services.
Okay. And you graduated as an engineer, right? In which stream?
Yes. Sir, Mechanical Engineering stream. I graduated in 2017.
Okay. So let me ask you the most common question that everyone gets. Why did you opt for civil services and not engineering?
So in the civil services, there's a lot of scope to have a positive impact on people's lives. And in mechanical engineering, I'd seen that there were perhaps more opportunities in terms of pay package and all. But in the civil services, one has work diversity, one has the opportunity to work in several fields while having a positive impact. So, and my parents, as I said, were also civil servants. So all those attracted me towards the civil services.
Okay. So after graduation, how did you start about your preparation? Did you take any specific help or you started on your own? How was the preparation journey?
Sir, I was at that point, I was first doing it through self-study. Difficulty I faced there was getting to a good level in mains. So that was something that held me back in 2 attempts, and I had to improve on that later, the mains aspect.
Okay, so basically you were preparing from your hometown, is that it?
Yes, sir. I was preparing in my hometown. I had the basic books, the list of basic books, the NCERTs and the other standard books. So I was making use of those and the internet for the current affairs portion.
Okay, so it was, I can say that more of a self-preparation mode in the first 2 attempts. And just so that our viewers know that this was Akshay's 4th attempt. So he has cracked the exam in his 4th attempt. So you were saying that the first 2 attempts, you could not crack it. You felt that the preparation was lacking. So what changed in the 3rd and 4th attempt? How did you improve your preparation?
Sir, in the 3rd attempt, I focused on consistency because I felt this consistency and effort was lacking earlier. So in the 3rd attempt, I mains, but made it to the interview, but I missed out by 2 marks in the final list. So again, that was a challenge because when the mark sheet was released, I found that in general studies, again, I'd improved somewhat, but I was still lacking. So in the 4th attempt, for the 4th attempt, I took a year's break. After the 2020 exams final result was declared, sorry, 2019's exams final result, I took a break. I skipped 2020's attempt and appeared for 2021 after covering the general studies paper-wise in a comprehensive manner, syllabus point-wise. I made sure I had material for each bullet point that was there on the syllabus.
Okay, so after giving your 3rd attempt and missing out by just 2 marks in the final list, you decided to skip the attempt to improve your GS portion. Is that it? Just to improve the GS?
So mainly it was GS portion because there I was lagging behind quite a bit. But in mechanical engineering also, I felt there was scope to go ahead of what to do better than what I'd done. So I focused on better topic coverage and more practice. And the 4th attempt was when I finally used coaching.
Okay. So now on the question of coaching, Akshay, so I'm told that you have been a student of Unacademy Plus platform. How did you find the platform, or what is your general feedback regarding it?
Sir, what had happened after I saw the mark sheet of the 3rd attempt was that since I had come close to clearing the exam, a foundation course was not going to be useful to me. I needed something that was geared towards meeting my needs, like some subjects, economy, geography, world history, I needed classes. So that flexibility was what the class platform gave me. I wanted conceptual understanding that would help me write better answers and also clear prelims by a sizable margin. And this was what the class platform gave me, and it was something I could do while preparing from home. I wouldn't have got it anywhere else.
Okay. So specifically for mains, you're saying an advanced level of preparation.
Yes, sir. The
Okay.
improving the level of preparation, better clarity, better answer writing. That was what I wanted from the plus platform.
Okay. Which specific batch did you join? Did you join the main specific batch that we have, or some other classes on the platform?
Sir, I used the classes of some educators like Mrunal sir, Sudarshan Gujjar sir. Because those were the areas where I was lacking, and I felt that if I joined a batch, then it would be difficult because I would be attending classes related to subjects where I was stronger, and I could utilize that time better if I focused on my weak areas. And there's one more thing, sir, not exactly related to Plus, but also related to what Unacademy offers on its YouTube channel. In my mechanical optional, again, when it came to conceptual understanding, there were some issues. The books sometimes didn't go into enough depth or they didn't cover issues at all. So there were the free videos for GATE and ESC students, which I used during my fourth attempt, and that helped.
Okay. Oh, that is nice. In fact, even I didn't know about that. The GATE syllabus would be helpful here, of course, because engineering is not my subject, but that's good to know. So that the free lectures on YouTube also helped you. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Apart from that, what did you do specifically for mains? How did you practice for answers, mains answer writing? I'm asking specifically because you were preparing from home and not in a city like Delhi or Hyderabad or let's say Prayagraj. So how did you go about your mains answer writing practice?
Sir, I made it a point to do two answers every day, and I used to get them evaluated so that I had that feedback, and I used to work on it. And sir, for the larger thing, the overall thing, I had taken the Insights test series. So I used to prepare according to that for mains, and that helped me complete blocks of the syllabus. Then I would work on the feedback they gave. And mains, sir, I had also seen some toppers answer copies. So they spoken of the need to add some diagrams or figures or charts to the answers. So I tried incorporating those and I used some of them in the actual exam so that I feel improved my answers.
Okay. Akshay, coming on to your optional subject. Now, since many engineers select humanities subject because they feel that engineering subject, first of all, they are just limited, they have limited choice. Now, you chose mechanical engineering and it does not have any benefit in GS. So, what was the reason behind the choice and how did you prepare for your optional subject?
So the main reason was that I was quite interested in mechanical engineering and I felt I would be able to study it for long hours. And another reason was, sir, that studying mechanical engineering was a break from general studies. So it helped change things, so to speak. So, and another reason was, since it was my graduation subject, I had done recently in college. So that base was there. And so for the preparation strategy, there were toppers blogs that I'd used, like Ravish Gupta sir, who he had given a book list, general strategy and all. So I changed my preparation, based my preparation strategy on that. And I used to focus on the previous year questions a lot, sir, because in the engineering optionals, those have even more, a lot of weightage. And I used to ask my friends who are in engineering services doubts and about other sources that could be used for better understanding in this option.
Okay. So you never faced that issue that you're lacking confidence because not many people would be attempting mechanical as an optional subject, and how to judge your level of preparation? Did you ever feel that feeling that how will I judge myself?
Yes, sir. So, it's true that if you take it, And in fact, sir, till 2017, I think there wasn't even a coaching class or test series that was exclusively for mechanical engineering. What changed was that in 2018 onwards, Next IAS introduced a test series for mechanical engineering. So for my third attempt, I took that, and that gave me the sort of feedback I needed. It helped me assess my preparation level better, and it boosted my confidence. And then, sir, I also focused on doing tests every Sunday. So from that, I was able to gauge whether the quality was, whether I was able to prepare well, and the time management also, sir, because this is a slightly time-intensive optional. It's sometimes one can't finish the paper on time. So through practice, I was able to address that issue.
Okay. Coming on to the interview part now. So during the interview preparation, so you faced 2 interviews. What was your experience like?
Sir, in the first interview, I was quite nervous. It was the first, and then that sort of reflected in some of the answers I gave. But despite that, I think I was able to perform decently. And that there was one interesting thing about that experience also. One member asked me only geography questions. Because I was nervous, I was not able to answer 4 or 5 of them. But I answered the questions asked by the other members reasonably well. So in that interview, I got 179. And sir, the experience of the first interview held in the second. In the second, by the time the second interview came around, I have realized that generally one won't have time for more than 3-4 points for each answer, for each question that is asked. So I've changed my preparation accordingly. I utilized the notes I'd made earlier, and I discussed better. And the second interview, the experience was also quite good. The board was cordial, and they focused a lot on my home state. So all the initiatives, public distribution system, tourism, mineral resource management, mining revenues, all those. And they focused on the hobbies also. They asked me 4-5 questions from the hobbies I didn't know once. I think it just shows that the board doesn't mind if you don't know the answer to a factual question, but when it comes to opinion-based questions, one should be ready to tackle them.
Yes, that's a very important point. In fact, many of the aspirants fear the board because of the facts. How will we remember so many facts? But it is true that they don't expect you to remember all the facts. Even if you remember the basic, that is fine. But do not answer the conceptual questions incorrectly. Okay. So Akshay, coming to the interview preparation, how did you prepare for the interview? Did you attend any mock interviews, or you just went in ahead without any preparation?
Sir, I felt mock interviews were useful for simulating the experience, and also, well, how it is on that day. One has to get up early, reach Dolpur House and all. So I attended 2 mock interviews, one at Unacademy and the other at Drishti IAS. And there I was able to get good feedback, particularly regarding preparation. One, they asked me to prepare more for my optional regarding the practical questions that would be asked. And they told me to smile more, to be more cheerful, because these little things also make a difference. So I feel the interview experience, the mock interviews were good because they helped me work on the weaknesses.
Okay. Akshay, there's just one thing that got me interested. You have something on your wall towards your left. What exactly is that? I see some notes or some paper on the wall.
So these are some motivational quotes. So about faith, having faith in God, and these were useful for me because before mains, there were a few moments when I used to feel a little discouraged, a little negative. So I used these to help get over that and basically perform at my best during that 1 week, those 10 days.
Okay. So these are for your motivation, not for the essay writing, the quotes to be used for essay. They are not those quotes, right?
No, sir. These are motivational.
Okay. Coming on to the issue of motivation. Now, a majority of aspirants these days, they feel overwhelmed by the preparation process, the long drawn exam, and then there are a lot of family and societal pressures. I'm sure you must have faced them as well. It's been 5 years since you graduated, and this has been a 5-year long journey from after your graduation till today. So how did you cope up with all the pressures? Your friends are going on doing some job, they're getting paid in lakhs of rupees, Wasn't there any pressure on you? How did you deal with all that?
So there was some pressure because my friends, as you said, were getting settled, whereas I was still continuing with the exam process. And there were 3 attempts where I couldn't make it. So I had to deal with that. And I would say, sir, I was able to cope because my family, my parents, and my sister constantly encouraged me and told me that I was likely to succeed in the next attempt. And another thing, sir, was I took heart from the fact that I was continuously improving in my attempts. From the first 2 attempts, I didn't clear mains. Third attempt, I came within two marks of final selection. So I felt that the changes I was making in my strategy were yielding dividends. And I also utilized small targets, like say a prelims test or a mains test that's coming up. I would focus on that. A good performance in a particular test would encourage me to go on, study more. So that was how I dealt with the pressure, ensured that I was able to navigate it properly.
Okay. So basically family support is quite important. I'm sure from
Yes.
experience, we can say that. So to all the aspirants out there who feel that pressure, please talk to your parents. Make them understand that whatever it is, you are making progress. Maybe you missed out on the mains list by just 1 mark or 2 marks. Tell them that. Make them understand. They will understand. If you tell them, if you communicate, they will understand. Now, from the prelims point of view, Akshay, I wanted to ask you, how did you go about the mock tests every year? So did you solve prelims MCQs every week, every month? What was your frequency? Did you join any test series? And if not a test series, then how did you prepare for the GS subjects from prelims perspective?
Sir, I had joined a test series for prelims. It was an integrated prelims cum mains course. So every week there was one prelims test. So I would plan my schedule accordingly, and I would be able to gauge how well I had studied that from the prelims test. And for the last 45 days or so, I had a different strategy. Here, I would do a mock test almost every day because, and I would try to do a pen and paper based thing because that would be a better simulation. And then, sir, I would work on what I had learned, and I would simultaneously ensure that my revision continued. Doing these mock tests is quite important, sir, because this practice is what helps one overcome the fear, and one encounters new questions also. So in prelims, if one suddenly comes across many new questions, one will be able to cope with.
Okay. Did you attempt combat at any point of time?
Sir, in March, I had appeared for
Okay.
7 or 8 combats.
Oh, okay. Did you top any of those? Did you get AIR 50 or 45 in any of those?
Sir, I think I was in the top 50 in 3 or 4 of those.
Okay, see, so you would have got some confidence that, okay, I'm in the top 50 of one of the largest test series. So I'm sure that would have been a confidence booster.
Yes, it was.
Okay. So, okay, Akshay, anything that you want to say to the aspirants out there who are preparing from a long time, maybe if it's their third attempt, fourth attempt, because those are the people who need the motivation the most. And if you have any message for them, please go ahead.
Yes. So to these aspirants, I would like to say that the fact that they are persevering is quite commendable, and they'll need to continue this hard work of theirs a little longer. And another thing they need to do is examine where they are going wrong in their preparation, whether it's GS or optional or essay. They need to pinpoint the exact reason. For me, the problem I was facing was that one in GS, it was topic coverage, and another was lack of conceptual clarity, and third was studying relevant material. So these were the 3 weaknesses I identified. Similarly, those who have been preparing for a long time need to identify these weaknesses, work on those, and they should also be careful regarding the company. They should always be with supportive family member support, but friends also. They should always choose people who support, because since they have been preparing for a long time, they are more vulnerable to the discouragement. And the third thing I would say to them, sir, is their practice is also important for them. So if they do mock tests on a regular basis, then it will be easier for them to cope, and also they'll be able to gauge their level better.
Okay. So that's really some good advice for all the aspirants out there. I hope that you take inspiration from Akshay's journey and you succeed in the coming years. So with that, we would like to end this interview. Thank you so much, Akshay, for joining in and giving us time. I'm sure you must be very busy with all the felicitations and all the congratulatory messages. So we thank you for your time for the aspirants of Pathfinder and Unacademy platform.
Unacademy. Let's crack it.